Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Disney. We've got a, I don't know if it's a daily dose of dismal Disney, but we got, several Disney news stories today. The lead Disney news story, though, is this new movie they're announcing called Hexed. And what's interesting about Hexed is that it's a young male protagonist is the lead.
Yes, it's also interesting is it sounds like Harry Potter.
It sounds a lot like Harry Potter. So we're gonna talk about this because this might go along with the scoop that Disney is looking to win back Gen Z boys. They might be looking for a more boy-centric franchise, and they might be like, oh, if only we had a male-focused Frozen or Harry Potter or something like that. Because Harry Potter, regardless of how you feel about J.K. Rowling, it's a huge hit. Mm-hmm. It's a huge deal. It's still making money. And they're gonna be looking at like, yeah, what are kids into now? Oh, we'll just do that. And they had a chance to build Harry Potter in the Disney theme parks. I don't know if those of you who follow us are into theme park lore, but basically Disney was so ridiculous that J.K. Rowling would not work with them.
Shocker. Plus, it would have taken them like 3 times as long.
It would take them.
It also could be like, oh, people are mad about Harry Potter, so let's make them a new Harry Potter.
Yeah, right. We're going to have a more diverse and inclusive and progressive. I don't know. Maybe the boy started as a girl. Who knows? We don't know.
So they Ron mud this crap. Who knows? Anyway.
Hey, oh my God. That would. Hey, you're coming up with some good ideas. You need to write that one down. We're just like Rama this shit. There you go. All right. So we're going to talk about this and some other stories. Looks like they're getting serious about Villain's Land. They're actually going back. And they're bringing back their good artists to work on this stuff, which
they brought back Disney legend animator who just worked on. I mean, how do you say his name?
I think it's Dea.
Dea. Okay,
yeah.
They brought him back. It was Andreas Dea.
Yeah.
I don't. If I say it wrong, I'm sorry. But like this guy worked on a lot of the big ones, including the Black Cauldron, which my daughter's gonna be thrown about because she loves the Black Cauldron. So they're bringing. He worked on like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King, Black Cauldron. He was a character designer on Klaus. He did Hercules, Lilo and Stitch, Princess and the Frog. He worked on all of this stuff, and they're bringing him back for Villain's Land because he has the aesthetic, especially the Black Cauldron type aesthetic, to bring him into play. Yeah,
so there's some, I think, look, I maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but I feel like Disney maybe is starting to get a clue. I think they realize that the quote unquote woke era of Disney and of Imagineering did not work out for them at all.
I'd say that, except for this, because we saw the Disneyland animatronic Walt Disney, and it looks terrible. And it was funny because I saw someone had a picture where it fell over once, or it was kind of like it wasn't working. Disney having like a seizure or something. But they're going to bring this to the Carousel of Progress. Now, people said they think it's going to be an ending scene, but that's not what I was hearing. What I was hearing it was going to be the intro. They're going to use him for the introduction before the ride starts. But the Disney Parks blog had a comment in it. I don't have the exact quote. But basically, it was saying about how they're going to go over the attraction and I think they're going to make changes in it for an audience of the future type situation. And I was like, oh, here we go. You better not effing mess it up. You just, yes, it needs updated. There's no question the final scene needs updated. But you'd be better off like time capsuling it and put it back in the 1960s and keeping it as a time capsule and, an homage to Disney than you would change a lot of it to, retcon history and put it to here's the future,
Yeah, I mean, Walt, that's what they say on the ride. You get on the ride and it's like, Walt loved the Carousel of Progress. He did. So, it is fitting if they're going to do a Walt animatronic.
It is fitting to put it there. Yes,
it's fitting 100%. To put it there. But I do worry about the changes. And
I worry about the animatronic being as ugly as one at Disneyland. If you can do a better animatronic, then hot damn, do it. Because having Walt Disney in the Carousel of Progress would be pretty awesome. I'm more concerned about the little other comments they're making about potentially changing some things for, wider audience appeal, or I forget exactly how they worded it.
The
but
modern audience.
It was something like that, and it was like shit. It was something like that, but it was like crap.
So before we get into it any further, we're into it pretty far. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to Kickstarter. Check out Geeky's Kickstarter for her glowing ghouls retro enamel pins. She's about 9,000 already with 10 days ago, which is very good for enamel pins. So you guys are like really excited about these, but they're glow in the dark retro style pins she designed. And we're going to flip this one pretty quick. I think going forward, we're going to have kind of our major and minor projects. So we'll have like our bigger stuff, and then we'll have, kind of smaller projects like this in between, which is why we're doing them in tandem with the orc pins, get them out as fast to you guys as we can. So thank you very much for that. It's on Kickstarter. Just real quick about this. Weirdly enough, I mentioned, because I love the Carousel of Progress, right? I do.
We do actually, but it's actually my sister's favorite attraction.
But it's accurate. That ending scene, as cringy as it was for years, it's accurate. We've got ovens that are voice controlled. We've got temperature controlled houses. Everything's voice controlled. We've got VR, headsets, and the 90s are coming back, so everybody can wear their ugly Cosby sweaters.
There you go. Well, he's in the outfit that he wore in that one episode of The Wonderful World Disney or whatever it was that he was talking about it coming for, because it was for the World's Fair, and they're talking about Small World and that's what outfit he was wearing. So
are we still doing now? I was all excited before Trump got elected. They said they were going to do another World's Fair in 2026.
I hope so.
Are we still doing that? Because I was totally on board with that. I thought that was awesome. I would love to have another World's Fair, but
Oh, here we go. Here's the quote.
Okay.
It said there's plenty of additional details to be revealed, including what John, Sarah, and the rest of the family are up to. What are they up to? Because unless you're talking about the final scene, because we already know, Disney Imagineers love this attraction, and the heart of it will stay the same.
Oh no!
While introducing the Carousel of Progress to an entirely new generation of fans.
Oh no!
Showing them what a great, big, beautiful tomorrow is just a dream away.
So that means if they're going to make substantial changes to it, that means they'll probably get rid of Gene Shepard's voiceover. My money, and I swear to God, I've been saying this for 10 years now when they talked about refurbing the Carousel of Progress, my money is on Tom Hanks.
Probably, but what I'm saying is, but I'm concerned about what they're going to do with the other scenes, because
I'm sure
they're saying we see what John, Sarah, and the rest of the
got
family
a boyfriend,
are up to.
girlfriend,
so I would assume
polyamorous thing going on.
I would assume that's just the ending, except they said they love this attraction. The heart of it will stay the same, while they're going to introduce a new Carousel of Progress, which to me says they're going to change the whole damn thing.
I don't think they'll change it.
No, it says.
Okay, I know. I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Love it. They're going to keep the heart of it while introducing a brand new. Disney Imagineers love this attraction, and the heart of it will stay the same.
The heart of it.
While introducing the Carousel of Progress to an entirely new generation of fans.
Yeah, that sounds to me like it's, yeah.
I mean, they better not change it. There's no reason to change the old stuff. That's why people go, because it was a look into old Disney. I hope to God it's just they mean the last scene and then adding Walt to it.
Yeah, the first three scenes, I mean, I would do Walt as a preamble, because they have a part now where they talk about how much Walt loved it and whatever. And you can do that with the animatronic. Then you do the first three scenes, and then I could see them maybe doing a more modern. But I'm worried what that would entail. Who's going to get race swapped in the Carousel of Progress?
Oh no.
Anyway.
But it was Mousetrap News once did a story that they were going to change the ending, and now the brother's black and his boyfriend was coming to visit.
That's
for
what
Christmas
I'm saying. Well, it won't be Christmas. It'll be a holiday event. We can't do Christmas.
I think it was like a non-denominational holiday event was what they said. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, so there's that. Let's go back to this. This is what we were originally talking about. So we'll see. We'll see how much of a clue Disney has gotten. They've been getting pummeled, though. We have another video. We're going to talk about Snoop Dogg and Lightyear and all that, and why it might mean that we have some hope for Toy Story 5, because they might have to get it together. But this is hexed, because all the Disney movies now, we can't call them the actual fairy tale name anymore. It has to be, Frozen, Tangled. What happened to Gigantic?
What the fairy tale would this be?
I don't know.
It's Hex, because they have to call it something that sounds interesting. So it's obviously a witchcraft name. Now the concept art's really good. Usually I'm pretty good at predicting things how they do based on a trailer or concept art. And this concept art looks pretty good. I think depending on the story and the trailer, This one might work. I already said, like, Hoppers, forget it. Elio knew wasn't going to work. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It really isn't. It's actually better than I thought. But it was never going to work theatrically. People weren't interested. We pretty much called it. Wish said it wasn't going to work. This one might. It depends. I need to see it in action first, and I can tell you what I think.
I mean, I'm also looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I can just hear them being like, okay, guys, all kinds of Halloween merch. We're gonna have all kinds of Halloween merch. Like, what's big? Okay, Hocus Pocus is big.
Well, when I looked at this, that's what I thought was Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus meets Encanto.
It's about a boy.
Yeah, that's what's interesting.
Because looking at this art, you would assume girl.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, but
it's
an
upside down house. I like that. That's interesting.
Boy and his mother.
Yes.
Awkward teenage boy and his type A mother. What? Who discover that his peculiar quirks are actually hidden magical powers.
Oh, they're gonna make her they're gonna make them Asian. And the reason I'm saying that is they're going, there's type A mom.
Oh no.
And there's like a stereotype about Asian moms.
The tiger mom.
Yeah. So if they do that, that's so shit.
I've seen some tiger moms in action. I've seen kids get their asses just chewed out in public, and I'm like, oh my God.
I'm just saying, I hope they don't do that, because that would be the biggest cliche ever.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't know, but it is interesting. They're making the big, like, it's a teenage boy. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking it looks more Encanto, but
it does look very Encanto with the palette. Yes.
But, they're trying very, very hard to get Gen Z boys now. So I think we're going to see this weird pendulum swing. I kind of wonder if maybe Elio was part of it. Maybe this is why we're seeing, Toy Story always makes money, but like they're trying very, very hard now to get boys back into Disney, because Toy Story made a shit ton of Cars. The movies were terrible, but the toys sold really well.
I think it's not just that. I think they're trying to get boys and men. We talked about they're looking for a new IP for grown-ups too, back in. But the problem is that Disney said that they wanted, they want to make all these sequels to movies, and they're looking for IP to base it on, new IP to base it on. I think that's what they're trying to go with Hexed. Is they're trying to let's make a Harry Potter-esque, witchcraft movie, and you have a male lead, and we'll try to, focus on the boy aspect of it, and we'll try to make a whole new franchise that we can make 5 different movies too.
Yeah, probably. And then they're going to look at this, the whole brand synergy. Can we make a theme park area out of it? Can we do this at Not So Scary Halloween? Can we sell merch?
Well, it would potentially fit into Villains Land by the angles and stuff. I mean, it's concept art, but
yeah, I mean, it's a fun look. I mean, I think it's really interesting, because this is like, we're seeing more movies come out lately, or more movies get announced that do seem more male focused. And the rumor with the whole Gen Z male thing is they are going to do another Pirates of the Caribbean, but they're not going to do the Margot Robbie female focused one.
And they're still trying to get Johnny Depp back, which I've mentioned several times, because I know Jerry Bruckheimer's been trying to get him back.
Yeah, I mean, he's been cleared. He should be fine. They should be fine to bring him back.
Well, I think it's more about whether or not he wants to come back at this point.
Well, okay, so they dropped him. I mean, that was the thing. He said, yeah, I wouldn't come back for, what was it, like 1,000 llamas or some crazy
stuff.
Alpacas, yeah.
A massive amount of alpacas. Yeah.
And I don't know if he's a collector, I don't know. but an animal hoarder, I have no idea. But like, they screwed him over. Like all these studios were so damn afraid to go anywhere near him. And then once his name was cleared, they're all like, oh, okay, then we're just gonna forget that happened. Same thing's gonna happen with Gina Carano. It's gonna be like, oh, it's water on the bridge. I know you sued us and everything, but whatever. We like you now. So now we know people. Basically, we know people will pay for stuff that you're in. So we will bring you back because money.
That's just because of money. But I mean, it's a pretty, the colors, it is very Encanto, which I noticed that as well. I love this is what the style actually looks like. I like it. It's very fun. We don't know enough about it yet, honestly. No,
there's
guys.
There's
announced. It's going to be out fall of next year. So it's like a little more than a year away. I'm thinking we'll probably get, some kind of teaser here and, later this year, end of the year.
Yeah, it's probably going to come out Zootopia 2, I'm guessing it'll probably have
probably something like that. But we might get little teasers before that. Yeah. But until I see it in action, when I see it in action, I'll know if I think it'll do well or not.
Now, this is, and again, we talked about it briefly, but they are bringing more old school animators and Imagineers back. And I think they realize that like this new crop of people they have, it's just not working. It's just not working out.
here's the problem. I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and say it, especially for Pixar. You got a whole bunch of people who are more about being activists first instead of good storytellers. And they want to tell their stories. And it's always, when I was a kid, I wanted a story for me. And it's like, but that's you. And yes, there are probably kids out there who will enjoy your story. I'm not saying there aren't. But you have a tiny percentage of people who might like your story, where other stories like, Frozen, which also has undertones of things that you could argue. I mean, it depends who you ask. I can see why people could argue it. It reaches a massive audience because it's never about that. It's about a story, and you have to guess. It's not like spelled out for you. But they're all too busy trying to tell a story about themselves. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because is your story going to have a wide appeal? If not, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, how many kids are like, my whole identity when I was a kid was discovering my sexual identity and all the things I had to go through. And I'm like, the thing about Disney movies that last, that stand the test of time, and any animated movie, is you've got relatable characters in relatable circumstances. And even if they're diverse characters, whatever, all the circumstances they're in, their story is relatable. I mean, you look at Coco. Coco actually was, it dealt with the afterlife and themes of the afterlife, which is taboo in China, but it was a huge hit in China
so good.
Because it transcended, cultural bounds, right? It transcended that.
I think in Canto, same thing, because it's a whole thing about, she didn't think that she got her gift, but maybe her gift was different. And sometimes people are, might have something they're not good at as their sister, or they're looked down upon because they don't have something that the rest of their family has. And I think that's something people can relate to, because everybody's felt that way at some point in time. Yeah. Like, you don't really fit in, or you felt like you weren't enough or whatever. And I think that's why it resonates with a lot of people. Plus the music, people love the music. They have lots of movies that resonate with people. There are a lot of fairy tales people know, and those always do well. They keep trying to make new things, like the Wish movie, where they just tried to make it so corporate, to try to shove every reference to Disney ever for their anniversary, and it fell flat because it was just complete shit. And it's like you need to walk away from that, and you definitely need to stop listening to people at Pixar and shut. I'm glad you're walking stuff back, because I'm not saying you can't have representation. You can. The problem is that's all they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it becomes like overrepresentation and niching and I mean, the Disney of old, they knew how to tell stories that would resonate with everybody, and they're going back to the people that have the skill set, the talent, and they've lost so much. I mean, Disney has lost so much talent over the last decade or two because they've been chasing younger, more diverse creators that frankly aren't bringing it, or they don't have the experience. And the brain drain at Disney is ridiculous. Like, all these people are going to Netflix, they're going to Skydance, they're going to, and it's like,
it just seems like there's an awful lot of people at Pixar, especially, that don't have the pedigree to be making the demands they make. Right.
And meanwhile, there are legends. They've got like living legends in animation that have been there for decades, and they won't use them. They're like, oh no, this person just graduated from Cal Arts like last year, we're going to give them a movie.
We know they voted Democrat.
Yeah, right. Like, what the hell? Do you want to make money or not? And I think Disney's in a place right now, and look, I don't think it's because they suddenly had a change of heart. I think they're like, oh my God, we don't do something, we're going to destroy ourselves, so we need to go back to what works. Then
you need to go back to center, and that's all you have to do. I'm not saying cater to the far right either. I'm just saying go back to center.
Yeah, well, the center is far right compared to some of the...
I know, anymore if you're in the center, that's what you're labeled now. Yes, I know, that's a whole other thing, but yeah.
All right, so we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
We'll see. Disney wants the boys again. Make of that what you will. So, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Check out Geeky's Kickstarter. Again, Glow and Ghouls, Retro Halloween, glow-in-the-dark enamel pins.
I'm giving you all the finger hearts, but you can't see them.
Yeah, she's not giving you the finger. She's giving you the
No, finger hearts.
All right. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.